Think, Richard, that City sort of took the sting out of the game a bit after that, though, because you thought, like, right, well, Leipzig have their tails up now, they might go and get the winner. But, I mean, it wasn't the last 20 minutes, it won't be like Champions League classics. If you're watching it, was fairly mundane stuff, wasn't it?
They played pretty much how they played in the first half. I mean, the first half, they took the sting out of the game. They just kept possession, and even their goal doesn't come from any sort of great build-up play. It's a quick turnover of the ball, winning it up high and scoring the goal. And certainly when they conceded the equaliser, they were on the ropes a little bit. So for them to be able to keep the ball is important. But every time I watch City, I just think, have a go at the team. Have a go at whoever you're playing, because you've got a better team. You're much more sort of fluent when you just attack. But so often City almost show too much respect for the opposition, and there's always this fear, oh, we might get done on the counter attack, or we might be caught out with a quick counter attack and all that sort of stuff. And it's like, well, don't worry about that. Go and worry about yourselves and go and score goals, go and create chances. But it's just, sometimes it's too slow. Sometimes it's too predictable. It's like, we've watched City for a long time. We know they can keep the ball, and it's amazing how well they keep the ball. But sometimes you're just wanting a little bit more urgency in the pass. And Brian was speaking here about how quickly they're moving the ball across the back. It's too slow at times, and it's easy for the opposition to get into position.
What do you think, Brian? Do you agree? Because you know, people say Guardiola, he doesn't like to go helter-skelter end to end, because he thinks, as Richard says, will get done on the counter-attack. Do you think that sort of fed into the way they played this evening? Because there was a bit of, you know, caution about it at times, wasn't there?
Yeah, I think there was a bit of caution tonight, even in the selection and in the shape of the team, which you pointed out at half-time. It was a definite back four. He said before the match he always has a back four. We know he doesn't. We've seen him playing with back three. We've seen him playing with starting with a back four, but one of the full backs in the middle of the field to overload the middle. It was kind of straightforward enough tonight. It was almost 4-4-2 with Gundogan playing off Haaland. But yeah, I agree with Richard Dunne. It didn't move the ball around quickly enough to disturb the defence, and with the exception of the moment and the goal and a couple of other kind of half chances, they rarely disturbed the Leipzig defence. They were quite comfortable. But I think they were happy with a draw. I think they were happy when it was 1-1 and the tempo died a little bit. I think they were content at that. We didn't see them going hell for leather looking for the extra goal to win away from home.
He looked ecstatic on the pitch afterwards.
Yeah.
The clips just before we cut away there, you know, he was on the pitch high-fiving his players, getting them in a group huddle around him. I think he understands, and he spoke at the top of the show in his interview pre-game about how difficult a place this was to come, and I suppose the threat that Leipzig carry. And I think he would have taken a 1-1. His team selection would have suggested that.
That's